Welcome back to another great episode of Comedians in Bed, where comedians can be comedians. And I don't really know what that means, but it just sounds like something you should say on a podcast, man. We got another great guest here for you. As always, I always have to do an introduction, man. This guy is nothing short of hilarious, nothing short of funny, man. He's killing it out there in LA, the Comedy Store. You might have seen him in your city, but right now we got him right here on this show today, man. I'm so excited. Please, everybody, give it up for my man, Jeremy Scippio, everybody. And I forgot the applause. There we go. And I was trying to hit that applause button so fast. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm trying to make it happen.
That's what's up, man. No, I'm excited we got you on the show today. Thanks for saying yes. We had to ask you where are you originally from?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, for real? You
People,
Ohio
al-
boy.
yeah, people always think I'm either from Chicago or New York. I didn't put that out there, but I don't know, just because of my swag. I don't know, whatever the heck. But yeah, no, Cincinnati.
That's what's up, man. I'm from Columbus.
Oh yeah, sorry to hear that. So the thing is about not playing. Nah, shoot, I used to do field trips to Columbus with Cosi.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, okay, all right,
Cosi, yeah,
dang, yeah. We still got
yeah.
coastline up here, man. It's cool. I last time I've been, last time I've been was with my nephew. I'm not gonna say it's not the same as an adult, but like once you've seen it one time as an adult, you kind of like seen it all for real. And right now they got like this Titanic like exhibit. It sound nice, but that stuff do add up for real. So
Yeah, I mean, I feel like technology passed. That's back when you could impress people with a lava lamp. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Now,
yeah.
now technology's so advanced. Like, unless they gonna show cloning there, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, yeah, like this is how we time travel.
Did you like you was in Cincinnati all throughout high school and then you left?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up there. I moved. I went to college briefly. I went to UC, was it University of Cincinnati, and then I started doing taxes, Jackson Hewitt. Then I got a couple other jobs, and then I visited LA. So I say like probably was it 2 years after high school? Yeah.
Okay, okay. What made you take like well not take a risk, but like what would take a risk, but like what made you just like I'm out of Cincinnati, like I gotta get up out of here?
Uh, I don't know. My heart was never like in the city that much. It's funny now. I'm building more of an attachment to where I'm from, but since I was young, I always wanted to get out. I ain't gonna lie. My family's from New York mostly, and that was like a bond that they had that I didn't. Is
Oh,
that they
okay.
would, yeah, they always talk about New York or back in the day growing up, and just the way they talk about like, oh, Brooklyn, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have that in the way rappers talk about New York, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or even LA, rappers always had their affiliations. I'm from Compton, you know what I mean? Like nobody bragged about being from Cincinnati, so it was like
Hey,
somewhere in the back of
Columbus,
my mind, it's like,
Columbus, like maybe it was just the air. Like my mom, I was born in the '90s, so my mom in the '90s was always going down to Cincinnati for like that was the city to go to. That or Detroit, Cincinnati for the Jazz Fest. Like that was her
oh yeah,
thing. So
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it
It's
is.
not the same anymore, but that was her thing. Like she would go down there, with the long nails. She still got all the pictures and stuff. Like that's when my mom went to the Jazz Fest. I was like, I expect to not hear from her till she come back. Like
Oh.
one of
Yeah,
those.
yeah, I hate to be the one to break it to you, but your mom was definitely turning up down there.
Yeah, yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
yeah, yeah, that's what. It's not as much jazz as you think it is. Not playing.
What's like your favorite thing about Cincinnati? Because like I go there like all the time. I feel like it's one of the best scenes in Columbus. They have, in Ohio, they have like
Mhm.
some of the best clubs. Like, what is one of your favorite things that makes you think of Cincinnati?
So, once again, like I said, when I was young, I really didn't appreciate it, but now I'm older, I kind of like understand more of the history. Um, yeah, because I went to a school for creative performing arts,
Okay.
where I was a jazz studies major and visual artist. And yeah, it's like there's a lot of culture in like the downtown area is called Over the Rhine. Um, finding out how that came to be, uh, because I was an artist, the German architecture. Um, just kind of like it kind of made me understand more about like how things come to be, or even just the river. It's built up more now than when I
Yeah.
was there. Like the downtown area was like, people used to get like robbed and like beat up or whatever downtown. So it wasn't like the best place to be growing up. But now it's like they did a massive gentrification, like which it looks great. It's not even the city I come from anymore. People be bragging about Cincinnati, and I'd be like, man, that sounds great. I can't identify, but yeah, I'd say now I do like the downtown. Performed at the Liberty Funny Bone a couple years ago, and it's a little more expansive. Just than what I remember. It wasn't like that back then. Now it's a nice place to be. Like the Conies, I'm a Skyline person. I'm a Gold Star person. I don't want to start no
Okay.
beef with Cincinnati people.
Yeah, the
That's
conies
like
never the
Crips together.
conies. It's weird, like y'all got the conies down there and the chili and shit, but then like it skipped Columbus and Cleveland, but it went straight to like Detroit. Like I don't get it. It's so weird. Uh, like we only got like I don't even know if it's up anymore. We got like one Skyline Chili left. Like, and I don't even know if it's open or
Dang.
anything like that. Like nobody rocks with Skyline. I don't think I've ever had Skyline. Just
Okay.
chili that just didn't sit right to me. So hold on. So explain to me because I went to a show at the Liberty Funny Bone and
Okay.
a comic were talking about it. So is it chili and spaghetti?
So look, I don't know the history of it because that's how people describe it to me all the time. They be like, "Oh, it's Cincinnati, y'all know it for chili and spaghetti." I'm like,
Yeah.
not necessarily. Um, Skyline and Gold Star are just two popular restaurants. I just thought it was like a regular restaurant. Like in my mind, growing up, there was no difference between Skyline Chili and Taco Bell. You know what I mean? That's just the way my brain worked. But
Uh, yeah.
yeah, I say the concept of the type of chili is not like a very meaty, hearty chili. It's like I even heard I could be wrong. I don't even know. I even heard the secret like 'cause each one has their own secret formula, secret recipe. And I heard Skylines, their secret had like chocolate in it or something like that. I don't even know if that's true or not. But it's its own brand of chili. It's not similar to anything on the planet. Yeah, I think it's best with cheese and just a coney, a simple hot dog, chili and cheese on a little bun. That's it. That's it.
See, that's what got me. It's the chili and the cheese. That just don't sound right to my stomach. The chili and the cheese. I never got that. But I will say about
What?
Cincinnati though, like
Uh,
Cincinnati by far has one of the best scenes even
hmm
now. And then like as I've done this interview and done interviews with people who I didn't know were originally from Cincinnati, like
yeah,
the ones that didn't stay and left, they're even good too. Like you guys have like a good sense of like artistship, like from music and all that type of stuff. You
yeah.
mentioned jazz. What got you into jazz? Like, is your family just like a family of artists?
No, actually, man, I'll give credit to my mother, just because if I had an idea, she'd definitely let me get a chance to explore it. So, uh, but she still had like the tough parenting thing about it. So, I just was like, hey, I want to play piano. Actually, no, I don't have time to tell this story. So, okay, yeah, okay. I remember my grandma used to take me to church, uh, and when I was in church. I used to, not pay attention as much. I was one of the
Yeah.
kids in the choir, but I would be like doing like, you know, airplane keys and airplane the drums, whatever. So my grandma was like, yeah, so actually this lady who was friends with my grandmother, she was like, yeah, he needs to get into something more physical, musically. He seems musically inclined. So she bought me this little piano, but it was really bootleg piano. Like it didn't even have like it was a little keyboard, and it didn't even have like no back door to it. I remember it just had like a piece of cardboard holding the
Yeah.
battery part. But yeah, I used to play it. Then I wanted to, get a real piano. My mom was like, "Yeah, if you get a real piano, you're gonna have to take lessons, and you're gonna have to be more serious about it." So I was like, "Cool." But my mom, I don't know. Somebody told my mother that you only need one lesson. After that, they can teach themselves. And that's not true. But that's exactly what she made me do. So I just started like learning on my own. But then when I started going to the performing arts school, because I went to the performing arts school mainly for art, and then I started getting into jazz studies, and that made me more appreciate, just jazz in general. One of the first people we studied was Miles Davis. Then, I say my favorite piano player is Oscar Peterson.
Okay.
I say another thing that kind of started me off studying jazz musicians was the Stevie Wonder song Duke Ellington. Oh, sorry, Sir Duke. Sir
Hmm.
Duke is about Duke Ellington, but he names a bunch of like famous jazz players. And that's like you know what I mean? Like it's like the bedrock of how to get into jazz. So yeah, from there I took off.
How was it like embracing you? And what I mean by that is like you're an artist. You
Mhm.
grew up like in jazz, playing his instruments and stuff. And now you're still an artist. You're doing comedy. You're doing creative writing. How was it embracing you? Because as Black men, we kind of saw like athletes and a different sense of artistry with like rap and music and all that type of stuff. Your kind of artistry is a little bit different. It's starting to hit a wave now. More people are starting to, pay attention more to comedy. Money's coming in. How did you embrace
Yeah.
like you?
Man, I have to credit single parent households. Man, that's I had a lot of TV time. So like when you sit there and and I will say you got to watch what your kids ingest because I was obsessed with watching Comic View and Def Comedy Jam definitely, but I definitely was more influenced by Comic View. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So it just hours and hours of watching that. It was just always in me. So I guess I knew at some point I was going to try it. I
Yeah.
knew that I was going to do this thing, but for some reason in my mind it didn't register as an occupation. But I don't know. I it's as far as embracing myself, I kind of always have been. I would say like, it was just the timing. Like it's kind of like you get this official stuff out the way so you can make time for what you really want to do. And it's funny you say as black men, I do understand what you mean because it's kind of like even when it comes to sports or whatever, a lot of us are bred to think that that's a part of what we have to do. You
Yeah.
know, um, but I think you got to think about when you are alone and you're not motivated. Like nobody's telling you to do anything. What do you really want to do?
Yeah.
And if you could turn that into, you know, a way to build a life for yourself, a household. Because I feel like this, especially the way I do comedy. It's those thoughts you have when you're at a job and you can't stand your employer, and you're like, oh man, you're like you. That's when you're the wittiest. When you be like, when somebody's trying to discipline you, be like, nigga, I wish you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So I feel like I was able to turn that feeling into an occupation. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's most of it. So yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. How old are you?
I am How old am I? 36. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. All right,
Yeah.
so you're like 2 years older than me because I used to grow up like I went back and I studied all the episodes of Def Comedy Jam. I just felt
Uh,
like I needed to get a sense of like not necessarily where black comedy started, but just like the boom of it or whatever, like and just all
yeah.
of that. And but when I first started getting into comedy, it was definitely watching Comic View and just like the
Yeah.
different variations of it and stuff like that. And it's interesting that you say that because I told my mom that too. Like my mom watches a lot of TV, and my mom would like just harp on me a lot about watching TV. But I'm like, what I do now is I write, I act, I do comedy, and those are all the things that I watch. So it was like I was getting tutored, you know what I'm saying, or like
Hmm.
studying from a sense. Do you think that's how you ended up, on TV doing acting? You're on AMC now. Like, is that like how organic was it, or was it like just somebody like, hey, you should go do this?
I feel like it was very organic. I would say, I wish there was a little more like, um, hand holding. But I think that's the way I was raised. Just I always had to kind of explore things on my own. I would get encouragement to be that person, like go do the thing, but not getting like a direct like, hey, this, not having like a direct mentor in the craft. Um, but yeah, watching, like I said, it's funny because like you said, like saying not you shouldn't watch as much TV. That's it's funny. That's exactly watching TV. Like, hey, I'm gonna do that thing at some point. Um, you know, even even other shows. I always knew that I wanted to be uh, acting uh, in that way. Like just Martin, watching Martin,
Yeah,
watching that he got that silly. Like that's I would say, especially when I was in elementary school, I was just doing a whole Martin impression without doing his voice. Like my sense of humor, my reaction to stuff, and then I say hip hop as well. Like in some weird way, like hip hop developed my morals, but in a positive way, in the sense of like like I don't look for handouts, but that's because all
yeah,
rappers be like, yo, I don't, like I got it on my own. I don't need nobody, whatever little bar or
yeah.
lyric. So I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it on my own. You know what I mean? I be feel like I'll be having my Antoine Fisher speech. Like I'll be like, I'm my own man. I do my own. I ain't need
Hey,
nobody's help. But that's just
I,
like the drive.
I think I just started fucking with rappers again because in 2020 I got cheated on real bad, and then all I would hear was rappers be like, "I fuck your bitch," and I'm like, "Damn, nigga, you did. Like, you shouldn't." Like I was traumatized listening to rap for years, bro. I'm like, damn, nigga, you did fuck my bitch. Fuck you. Uh, but
But
I
then you
think
gotta
for me,
switch gears though. You gotta switch
yeah,
to other rappers. You know what I mean? You gotta be the
yeah,
rapper that is smashing girls. You know what I'm saying? That's the
yeah.
thing.
I just know I straight start listening to motivational rap. That's all I want to listen
Uh,
to. Rap that's gonna get my
uh,
ass up out the bed in the morning. That's all. But I think for me, what sparked it for me was actually R&B. So I don't think
okay.
naturally I can't sing. Like I wasn't born with that
Mm,
gift. But in middle school and high school, I started to do choir and got pretty good at it. But I only
okay.
started singing because I used to watch 106 Park and then like make fun of people. Like I would try to like imitate them and like mock their voice and stuff. And that's like what got me into like I not necessarily what got me into because I was already like making jokes and shit. But I was like,
Mm,
oh, I can make fun of people and make people laugh or whatever and stuff like that. So I think for me, that's what got it started for me. Um,
yeah.
Especially Usher.
Especially back
Everybody say
then.
I look like Usher. Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody say I look
yeah,
like Usher. So I was just doing
yeah.
Usher
Yeah.
everything, bro. Then John Legend came out and I was like, oh, then it's John Legend. Like it was just everything. Yeah. So I
That's
definitely
funny.
get it. How does your acting, because I always tell young comedians this all the
Mhm.
time, how does your acting translate to your comedy? Like has it enhanced it or how does it help?
I actually don't feel as strong in that area. I'm told I'm really good though, and I get compliments, but I would say um, I want to dive more in. I just say comedic actors in general. You can see a level of freedom they have, like stand up. At least in the stand up that people appreciate the most. I don't feel like this is a requirement, but stand up is a little more structured. So these comedic actors kind of have to find you know more structure. They're you can see like they have to tone it down in order to be palatable for the general audiences. With me, more on the stand up transition into acting, it's kind of like I have like my structure in my head and I have to break it, you know. Um, but it's also because I take acting seriously, Like I
Mhm.
certain things that when it's done well, it like man, it sends chills down my spine. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I think it's funny when people say they can sing and you hear them sing and you like, man, like why I gotta be the one to tell you you can't sing? Like you're holding a note. Y'all can hold a note. Take your ass to church. You know what I'm saying? But a singer, like they can sing, it feels good, man. Like you feel emotions that you weren't even trying to feel that day. I feel like acting is the same, um, in a sense of like when it's good, you're not thinking about the acting. You're like you're in it. You're in the story. You're plugged in. So I aspire to get to that. But I would say stand up to me is it's more natural and structured the way my mind works.
Yeah. Yeah. I can
So
see that.
it felt acting feels like I'm boxing left. You know what I mean? Like I'm good at it, but I need to be great at it. So I don't just be like getting pity. Like, yo, you're doing all right, baby. Like, I don't want
I think
that.
what made acting fun for me was like when my acting coach was like, "Yeah, these lines are a weapon." I was like, "Ooh, they are."
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
I was like, let's just weaponize. Like, what are you gonna say? All right, now I'm gonna say this. Like, I like it. Like, it's real fun.
Uh-huh.
I just don't be finding the time to do auditions because man, working a 9 to 5, then have to squeeze whatever I gotta squeeze in. But before I have to go to shows or mics, I'm like, bro, I'm drained. I'm not trying to memorize anything else. So, what I am proud of is that I'm actually like doing what I say I wanted to do. It may not be at the level that I wanted to be at, but it's still like I'm still doing what I want to do. So I get like satisfaction out of that.
Yeah.
And like when you're up there on stage every night, is it like still like because sometimes I'll be having moments where it's like, damn, like I'm really doing this. Like it may
Yeah.
not be where I want, but I'm like, I'm really doing like do you have moments like that where you're just like, I can't believe like I'm doing what I said I want to do?
Yeah, before and after, never during though. You know what I mean? Like, man, I'll be like, I'm him. Like, it's crazy, man.
Stay
Like
off
I say,
the weed.
especially when like when you headlining in a new city and it's all on you, and you can tell like people are like some people are they're like really impressed by you before you say anything, which is great, and other people are like skeptic to like insulting level where they just like, all right, yeah, like I guess you. I look at my green room, they're like, nigga, I don't even deserve the green room. Like,
Yeah.
you can just tell how they treat you. Then when you on stage, like, and everything's connecting, and you get applause breaks, and like you're like the show. You know what I'm saying? You're the reason why. Even like other comics, sometimes comics be like because you can tell, especially when people are in their city, their own city that they coming
Yeah.
up in, and they can't wait to headline. And somebody told them they're not good enough to headline yet, and they see you, they be like, why he can he headline, but I can't. Nigga, he
Yeah.
don't even know the city like that. And you're like, you don't even know where the chili at. How you gonna headline? You don't know where the chili at, bro. And and when you push through all that, can I just keep it chill? And then you're killing. You're getting the applause breaks. Everybody's like, oh, they're reacting like we saw on Def Jam and Comic View. And and the reason why I will not snap out of it is because that's when I lose it. I feel like I gotta
Yeah.
stay in character. I gotta be that nigga. Like sometimes, like instead of like when they going up, I don't even laugh. I just be like, you know, cause
I'm like that sometimes, but I feel like I gotta smoke the right weed. Cause sometimes, like when I get a laugh, I'll be like, "Oh shit, nigga, that scared me." Like I wasn't expecting that a little bit, you know. Like I just, like I knew, like of course I thought it was funny, so I wrote it. But it was like, damn, like I didn't think y'all would like laugh that big. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still
Yeah.
like trying to get used to like people's reaction to me, I guess, or whatever sense of the word. But one thing I've noticed with headliners though is that there's different type of headliners. I went to
Uh-huh.
well, there's different stages of headlining. I went
Mhm.
to see Miss Pat and it was at a theater. Last time she was here, it was at a club. And my best friend, he works at the club here at the Funny Bone. He said it was sold out, all the shows sold out. But when she came here, it was like a 900 seater theater. She probably sold like probably 500 seats or whatever.
Okay.
And I didn't think it was a failure to me. I thought maybe Columbus just isn't her market or whatever.
Mhm.
But what I realized is that like you think a headline, you think every show gonna be sold out. And now you go to theaters, you're like, oh shit, every theater about to be sold out. But she's also, opening up for Martin in arena. So it's like there's levels to it. So like, how do you handle being a headliner? Because it may not go the way that you want it to go, but there's still learning process to when you get to that pinnacle mark.
I stopped thinking of the day to day. You know what I mean? Like you got to think about the overall. Like, what's the goal? Because yeah, I didn't think about myself as a headliner initially. I remember first time somebody even presented me with that idea, that concept. I'm like, are you sure? And you shouldn't doubt. But at the end of the day, it's like, you just writing jokes. You're not thinking like, oh, I can carry a show. Um, I don't think um, it's the end result is way more important. The
Mhm.
legacy. It's just there's no one night that's gonna make or break you. You know what I mean? Like it's no way. And I know when it comes to comedy, since it's based in like a fear state, because people have stage fright, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why we make the money we make, because people, everybody can make each other laugh, but they're not bold enough to stand up there. Um, we have a tendency to focus on the bad sides, the worst nights. What if I don't do this? What if I don't do that? Right? But the truth is, like, if you in your element, you're going to have way better nights. The ratio is not even going to be close. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you have a couple of off nights, or maybe you didn't sell, or you didn't kill. But I'm telling you, when I say I'm that nigga, like, bro, with I'm
Yeah.
telling you, just like I said about singing, like when it hit, and everything's good, and people see, even if like Miss Pat, she didn't sell, right? People see it, they go, "Oh, you're one of the ones. I'm going to roll out the red carpet for you and make it as comfortable as possible, because when you do hit that, you're going to come back." Jordan is one of the best examples. I mean, come on, bro. He was when they drafted him and gave him everything. They gave him the Nike contract. He didn't win his first championship until years later.
Yeah.
But you gonna judge him off his first season? That would be stupid, because he's the
Yeah.
greatest player of all time. So that's how I be feeling. Like, bro, I'm Jordan. I don't care what type of night I'm having. My legacy, my name going up in the Raptors. Y'all gonna be like, damn, like, you know what I mean? So, and obviously that's clear with Miss Pat, because she's killing it right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot that night. I had a good time. What
Mhm.
you've opened up for a lot of people. Like what is one of the people that you open up for that you probably learned the most from?
The most. Okay, that's a great question. Normally when I do podcasts, I get asked stupid questions. That was a good one. Um, learn the most. Learn the most. Man, most. That's a good one. I guess I want to say Russell Peters, because I've opened up for Dave Chappelle. I've opened up for quite a few people, but Russell Peters, because one, I learned I learned I can make a lot of zeros off of one set. First of all, like,
Is he still the richest comedian?
huh?
Is he still the richest comedian?
I don't think so. Well, the richest comedian I think is Kevin Hart. It's between Kevin
Okay.
Hart and Jerry Seinfeld, but I think he was one of the richest off of stand up alone.
Yeah,
Like he had no film or added to his money, film or TV or whatever. But yeah, I would say with him, he was telling me things like, "Yeah, your job is to like as an opener, your job is to like bury me." A lot of comics wouldn't say that. And I didn't have the ability to do it back then, but now though, no. Right, Russell be on my ass. but but yeah, he was just saying he kind of laid it out for me, even his path. Um, because just and just watching how he interacted with the people, like just like he was just very chill while people were like kissing his feet. It wasn't as much ego, uh, and he was and like I said, he helped me. He just helped me out too. He was just like you know, I would tell him about something, and he'd be like I'll be like, oh yeah, my tires, I'm just trying to make some money so I can get some new tires. He was like, tires? He goes, well, you need four tires? He's like, hey, get your jam and get tires. I'm like, no, please don't do that, bro. Please. You know what I'm saying? But I would say, yeah, and he critiqued my set directly, which I don't think that is a requirement, and I don't think you're supposed to do that with everybody. But just on some like, hey man, like this is that piece you're missing. If you say it this way, boom. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Russell for that. I appreciate him. You know?
so now that you're the headliner and you're touring, what kind of headliner are you? Are you one that just sit back in the green room, focus on you? Are you giving pointers? Are you guys collaborating and writing together? What kind of headliner are you?
I try to prioritize fun because when I came into the game, I was a heavy writer. Like people, if they see me immediately. I used to get the comment like, "You're a smart comic." You know what I mean? So like, you know, I feel like I did all. If I'm doing all the homework correctly and I'm studying the craft and all that, when I'm on the road, like my priority is fun. I don't put no pressure on nobody. Um, you know, I'll have a little fun if somebody bombs or something. Like I'll be like, like I'll tell you this. I won't even like roast you on stage. I'll bring it up if you like killed the mood or something like that, or if it was like something
Yeah.
obvious. But I'm not gonna roast you on stage. But I will go at you on the sidelines. I'm like, nigga, that's what you did. That's crazy. Why would you say that tonight? Like you're insane, bro. What the heck? You know what I mean? But it's just fun. I just like having fun. I meet the new people, meet the new comics. I also respect scenes. I respect because you gotta understand. Like look, I just did. I guess I'll be a little clear about this. I did Boston recently, and I had my people. I was trying to communicate with the club, but they wasn't getting back to me fast enough. So I had my people, and then when I show up to the club, on top of the people I had, they had three extra comics they didn't even tell me about. It just was like, you know. So one of my people was like, "Yo, you just gonna let them perform?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like nigga, I ain't Cat Williams. I can't just." How he did with Ali Sadiq. He paid him off the show. Like, here, take the money, get out of here. You're like,
Yeah.
nah, you know what I mean? Besides, like, you know, Compton ain't the only place that got like when you LA ain't just the only place you gotta check in. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's a form like of hey, I respect your city. I want to know more about your city. You know what I mean? Like I want to know more about you. You get to learn what the crowd is into, how to maneuver based upon how the locals maneuver. And also too, another thing I try to do during my headlining set, I'll comment on things that the other comics commented on just to show I was paying attention.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
What dang, I just had the question. It just escaped my mind.
my fault.
No, you straight. I had another one, and then another one popped in. I was like, I'm gonna go with the other one. And then the other one was like, nah, you're not gonna go with the other. I'm gonna leave. And so now oh, okay, that's what it was. What's your worst bombing story?
Now that's my least favorite question. First bombing story. I'll tell this story, but I'm sick of telling it. But I'll tell it because you're a good interviewer. So the very first time I did stand up uh, was at a Def Comedy Jam audition. I don't even count this as my part of my permanent record because I didn't even touch a stage for 2 years after this. I Yeah, so the my boy's uncle was a DJ, and I remember we went to this event, this club or whatever, and he was like, "Hey, what's your next gig?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm about to DJ at this Def Comedy Jam audition." And he was like, you know any comedians or whatever?" He's like, "Oh, my boy." He's like, "Yo, he's hilarious. He, talking about me, right?" Now, granted, I had always said I was going to do stand up. I had never done stand up at this point, right? But man, he gassed me all the way. He was like, "Man, this is the guy I'm trying to tell you, blah blah blah." So he was like, "Yo," he goes, he goes, "You're a comedian for real?" I was like, "Yeah." Like I had never done stand up ever. He was like, "Yo, is he funny?" He's like, "Man, he's hilarious." I had never done stand. That moment got me the audition, and had to fly. My sister, um, she was dating this dude that had buddy passes at the time. So me, my sister, and her dude flew from Cincinnati to DC for me to do this Def Comedy Jam audition, and I had never done stand up before in my entire life.
Mhm.
But in my mind, it was like American Idol. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people just audition for American Idol. They
Yeah.
don't need experience. They audition, and you get it. So you're going to Hollywood, right? Man, I didn't realize how serious this was. This is like the Super Bowl for stand up. I didn't realize how serious it was till I got to the venue, and yeah, they were saying like everybody there was somebody from TV already. Like only two of us had never done anything.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, oh, this is serious. And I had just got finished watching Bad Boys of Comedy, and all them niggas were there, all of them. And long story short, first dude bombed his ass off. Then I had to go up. I bombed, but first dude got booed. I didn't get booed, but it was dead quiet. And this lady in the back was like, "Baby, you got this. You got go and get it, baby. You got it. You got it." Yes. And then after that, it's funny because everybody was like I was that nigga up top,
What?
and then yeah, afterwards they wouldn't even stand around me, man. It was crazy.
All right. So, what was like your funnest night in comedy? A night that you'll like never forget?
Hey man, I'm blessed, man. Be honest with you, I have a lot of good nights, man. Like literally, I that's a hard question because I mean I can name the night open for Chappelle, but that's not even that serious. That wasn't. Truth be told, I don't even make top 10 because the Netflix The Joke Festival that was fun. Um, sheesh, man, I don't man shoot the night
How is that?
was
How is
was
how is that festival? My fault. Because how is that?
uh,
Because a lot of people see it. A lot of people be disappointed that they're not on it. I'm like, not even live in LA. I don't know why, but like, how was it? Like, it looked like it's a fun time. Like, how is it?
that, first of all, that festival was designed to make you feel that way. That's the whole point. It's not even that serious. It's designed to make you feel that way. Netflix just went around with the stickers and slapped their logo on everything that was already happening. but
That's crazy.
but I say the coolest part was I always like because I since I've always traveled as a comic, right? So I got a chance to meet people early before they moved to LA. And I always like anything that brings everybody together.
Mhm.
Like I don't know. I would say like since there's different cultures of comedy. A lot of people kind of just stay in there. Like you got the alt scene, you got the black scene, you got different scenes. I like events that bring everybody together in one spot. So the Netflix's Joke Festival brought everybody together, and we have fun, and you got industry. They have this big main stage. Like it's just like a party. It's like a legit comedian party from
Yeah.
all over the world. I like events like that. Ooh, you know what? Edinburgh, Scotland. That was similar. Only thing different is that Edinburgh, the whole city turns into like comedy stuff. Like everything's comedy related. It's kind of like playing Pokemon. You know how like in Pokemon everything's about Pokemon. You be like,
Yeah,
you niggas are crazy. Y'all obsessed with these animals. That's how Edinburgh is. Cause like it'd be like, oh, comedians half off wings, like
yeah,
everywhere. So I'd
I get
say
it.
between Netflix is a joke and Edinburgh is probably my two most fun comedy experiences.
And as always, when you're 30 some years old, it comes back. So my question came back. So now I'm
Yeah.
asking, being black, being a black comedian, how do
Yeah.
you navigate working like the mainstream scene of comedy?
Um, I mean, I just be me, man. You know, I mean, I feel like I have an affinity for the lane I want to be in, and
Hmm.
I feel like everybody who starts comedy or starts a thing, right? You always associate with the top of the field. You know what I mean? Like, for example, and I'm not trying to say anything about anybody, but like I just watched the Kevin Hart, his Mark Twain, award, right? And he was crying, and he said the moment that brought tears to his eyes is that it's kind of crazy because he's surrounded by celebrities, surrounded by all these people, surrounded by his family, but when he's crying, he was like, the fact that Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, and Jerry Seinfeld are taking time out to honor me.
Hmm.
He's like, I don't feel like I'm. He's like saying, I don't feel like I deserve this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm in that lane. Like, no matter what the actual status is, I feel like I'm one of those guys. So when I navigate like, hey, I don't say what would they do, but as if I'm one of those people.
yeah,
And I know other comedians feel that way about themselves as well. But I just, like I'm gonna be on the stages that these guys are prominent at. You know, um, I will say since there's a black scene, some comments go like, "Oh, you over there with the white people," uh, but the white people look at me as a black comic. So
yeah.
I always felt like maybe if I wore glasses, I would have been more accepted in the white community because
Oh my gosh, that is
I
so
don't feel
funny. 'Cause
accepted. I really
I used
don't.
I used to wear glasses too. I'm like, maybe this will help. All right. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like, I mean, maybe I'm still young. I'm only 4.5 years in, but like the first
Uh,
2 years, I was like, just a whole bunch of black this, white this jokes, and just unconsciously, like, I mean, consciously, subconsciously, like
mhm.
trying to appeal to white people. And then like I don't know, flipped the switch and just got out of that. I'm just like, I'm just gonna write and talk about me. Whoever get it
Yeah,
and fuck with it, fuck with it. If they don't, they don't. And plus my name is Tyler anyway. So more people gonna be prone, white people gonna be prone to listen anyways because of my name. So I'm good on that. But I just like, let me just get in the club and whoever there, I'm just gonna show you that besides all these other black comics that may be my peers, I'm not gonna do your typical jokes. Like you gonna remember my name. You might not think I was the funniest, but you just gonna remember my name just from the material. I just started focusing on that. It just got too
yeah.
stressful. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like, oh, make sure I got my black jokes, my white jokes. Like, I don't, this came too stressful.
I, I this art form it works best when you're free with who you are. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like you gotta be free with who you are. Like there's so many boxes, and I do notice people who play the game like that. There's people who play the game like, oh, I'm gonna strategically go over here and do this. I'm gonna strategically go over here and do that. But if you stick to who you are, like your people gonna find you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I used to get told all the time, like, oh, you can't do hood crowds, hood, black people, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? But I started in the hood. Like when I first, after our unfortunate situation, I went to the clubs and bars full of black people, and it's close to my neighborhood. So I've always, like I'll always, be. I don't have to prove my blackness to anybody because
yeah,
I'm of that. Like you see my family, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just the way it is. Um, I mean, like I can't escape that, and they'll be the first ones to call it out if I, popped up with a white baby and some white kids, and they'd be like, "Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting." Um, what else I was gonna say? Yeah. I just did a St. Louis crowd. It was all black crowd. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
headlined there, and no, nobody thought that one time. You know what I mean? So it
yeah.
is what it is.
I'll be more prone to like if I say like a white reference to see if black people gonna catch it. And lately they've been catching it. And I was like, oh, I'm not the only one. Like I got this joke about niggas that like walk down the street while rapping, how they kind of like make me nervous, and
Yeah.
like how you would never see a white person sing on Nickelback. Then I do the song, and to my surprise, my brother was like, "Hey, that's one of my favorite Nickelback songs." And I'm like, "Bro, I didn't even like. I'm an MTV kid. Like I grew up. Like I didn't even. I'm just thinking I'm the only one that listens to alternative music. So I don't know, man. Try it, man. You listening to this? Try it. Try those weird jokes in black rooms. They may actually work. I love black audiences. I would love to do a show in St. Louis. My mom's from there. I've never been. I love
St.
doing
Louis is
black shows. They just don't start on time. That's why I
that's
don't.
hilarious. So with that being said, all of my shows are black shows. They never start on time. I got in trouble for that. I was like, I really am a black comedian. Also, fun fact: I don't really mess with white music like that. It's not on
Really?
purpose. Not, bro. White TV shows. I watch a white TV show, and some of the
Yeah.
older ones, not the newer ones. I can't do that. But yeah, I like black music. I don't know. Like that, I have a friend. He'd be like, "Dude, don't you remember? I can't even fake it, bro. Like, it did. Like, I got like some comics. We went to a karaoke spot, right? And
Yeah.
this hood dude, like they weren't expecting him to dance to. They was expecting me to dance to it. I'm like stuck, and he just like, it's been 1 week since you looked at me, and I'm like, and they be pointing to you to start singing like. I'm like, I don't know it, bro. It's not my thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know white music like that.
I was just I didn't find my brother till like a couple years ago, so I had a lot of sisters, so I was just left alone a lot. So I don't know what made me turn to MTV, but I just started watching. I liked it because of the music videos. I thought they're back when they were popular and stuff, and I don't know. I just remembered them, and then I did choir. Then I just took my musical palette to like a whole different level. I'll be listening to pretty much everything except for um country. Folk music is kind of country. That's good. I found some
Yeah.
good black folk music artists. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a music guy. I'll pretty much listen to everything though.
Can I tell you
Yeah.
how mad I was? Lil Nas X wasn't going to be the biggest country star ever. He was the biggest psych out of musical history. Like, nigga, you could have been like that. That's why Beyonce coming up to clean up the money that you left on the table, bro.
if
Like,
he would have stayed, man, he could have really cashed out. Really
bro,
cashed.
I'm like, I was thinking like, oh, this is what, bro. Only thing we didn't have was country and hockey. So I'm like, bro, the fact that he came out like that, I'm like, man, if we get a Venus and Serena of hockey, but then he rather have been weird. He wanted to be the weirdo dude. I'm like, we got enough weird niggas. We don't need another weird nigga. We need that black country star. I'm still waiting for that black country star. You know what I'm saying? Well, bro, you look
there
like you
is
can
one.
sing, bro.
There is one actually. I haven't checked
It
him
is?
all the way out. What's that nigga's name? Let me look him up.
I'm looking
He was on
black country.
Beyonce's album. His name is dang, I downloaded one of his songs. He's actually not even, I don't even think he's from the States. I think he's from Nigeria. What's his name? Shabuzi? Let me look.
Shabuzi.
Yeah, hold on. Shabuzi. Hold on. I listened to one song he kind of remixed Tipsy in the Club.
Okay.
Um
Now I'm
and
a
it was a
fan.
pretty Shabuzi. Shaboozey. Shabuzi. I don't know if he's from the United States. I know he from like he got some Nigerian roots. So they kind of thought like he was like what they call it. I don't want to say cosplaying, but like, oh, this Nigerian trying to do country music. He's not really from the country. But I checked it out. It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah.
I just
So if
want
you
I just want one of us over there. I don't even care.
He might be the one, and he got dreads, so you might be more receptive. He got dreads. But now, as we start to wrap this up here, man, I always end it with the same like 3 to 4 questions.
Okay.
Who is on your Mount Rushmore for comedy?
Oh man. Okay. All right. It's funny because I ask people this. All right. I'm gonna keep it basic because it'll get complicated if I go too hard. But I'd say George Carlin, Richard Pryor, oof, uh, Eddie, man, Dave Chappelle.
All right.
Yeah, there it is.
There's never no women on there. I don't know what we got to do.
I mean, no offense, but the top, bro. I mean, come on, like that's WNBA. But I watched the game. I watched the game, but come on, man. That's WNBA.
What words of encouragement could you give to any comedian that's listening to this right now?
Have fun. Have fun. I can't stand a nigga talking my head off about the technical aspects of comedy. Nigga, I'm studied up. I'm prayed up. Let's just have fun. And if you see me at a comedy club, talk to me about something fun. I really don't want to go technical, bro.
That's a good. You should probably march that. What you say? Pray about it.
Yeah, I studied up and prayed up, bro. I didn't did all the pre-work. Yeah. Bro, I was a nerd, bro. Like I'm over it. I just want to have fun, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be one of those rude celebrities. People gonna be like, so who do you think is killing it in comedy? I'm be like, man, if you don't get out here with that bullshit, bro.
Jeremy, tell people why they should listen to Comedians in Bed.
Yeah, man, because you give really insightful conversation and questioning. I'm telling you, the questions in comedy are trash these days. But you had some good ones, so I appreciate you. You only asked one bad question so far.
I know, bro. I know. We're working on it. It's like, nah, I feel like I be cheating because I still consider myself a journalist, but I used to be in like TV and do news and all that type of stuff. So
okay.
Yeah. I used to watch Oprah and all that shit.
Okay.
I'd be like, ooh, that's a good question. Jeremy, tell people where they can find you at, man.
At Jeremy Comedy on Instagram, probably my most active page. My website is Jeremy Scippio, Scippio. Get updates on where I'm going to be, my schedule. Also, my comedy album. I got 2 so far. Happens to the best of us and Sociopath. I got another one on the way soon. Actually, I got 2 on the way. But yeah, please check that out because you're helping me pay my rent. And also, Night of the Hunted on AMC Plus. Check that out. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, man. Be sure to check us out every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on my YouTube channel at TYE Comedy if you want to see this episode live. If not, you can check out weekly clips on our Instagram page at Comedians in Bed Podcast. And then listen to this wherever you listen to podcasts. Go ahead, download, subscribe, share, rate, and review. I want to thank my man Jeremy for stepping in with us here today. We greatly appreciate it. Guys, as always, we'll see you guys next week.